All right, we're back on Central Valley Talk. Thank you for tuning in today. We're going to talk with Barbara Breen right now, who knows all about the suicide prevention hotline we have here in the Valley. Holidays coming up, and you expect it to be a busy time for your call handlers.
Yes, yes, we do. A lot of times there's family triggers, emotional situations that happen over the holidays, and it's just stressful. It's stressful for a lot of people. So we want people to know that we're there, we're available in case things get a little too difficult. And let's face it, for a lot of people, the holidays aren't always, very merry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
there's a lot of pressure on you to be happy, and if you're not, you get depressed, right?
This is true, and sometimes you go into the holidays feeling depressed. I mean, quite frankly, situations could have happened in the past that trigger, unhappy feelings and that type of thing. So we just want people to know that we're available if they just need to call and talk. Sometimes, that's all people need. They just need someone that's non-judgmental, someone that can just, talk to them about what they're going through at the time, and venting and getting that out can be so therapeutic. So it's nice to be able to do that in that type of venue where, it's confidential and you don't have to worry about, what's being said, ever being, released.
Well, you say it's confidential, but that doesn't mean it's anonymous, right? I mean,
it can be anonymous.
Well,
yes.
But I mean, with call, your number comes up on any phone now when you call somebody.
It depends. We have a lot of people that call via Skype. Now we aren't set up so that it's a picture to picture,
right?
But it's a Skype phone call, and we have no way to locate those individuals if they call by Skype.
Okay.
So that's. People can be totally anonymous if they wish to be so.
If they wish to be, okay. Mm-hmm. Aren't there some calls, though, if you feel that the person's in danger, that you're required to contact authorities?
There's some calls, yes, but obviously if you're calling in on a Skype number, there's no way we have of being able to do that.
Sure.
So if it's a cell number or a local number, it's possible. For us to be able to locate. Of course, if someone's in a really dire situation, obviously our call responders are going to ask for an address, and very seldom do people not, because they're calling for a reason. They're calling because they don't really want to kill themselves, or they wouldn't have made the call. So typically our call responders are able to help them, get emergency services out to them right away, and then they're hospitalized if needed, or they're helped through emergency or ambulatory services. Mm-hmm. So,
do people typically call when they're just starting to feel depressed, or do they call when they're at that point of actually thinking about taking their own life?
Both.
Both?
Both. We have people, and what we like to do is we would hope people would call us prior to their getting to that point. And that's why it's really important for us to make sure that our number is out there and people know that we're available so that they can talk to us. Because if we can reach people before they get into that state of such darkness, then at that point, then we can really help make a difference and impact their life before they get to that. And we do have a lot of our call responders talk a lot of people what we call talk down, where people will be actively in the process of committing suicide, and then they'll be able to, we call it bringing them back to life. And so we've been able to do that a lot. We've got some wonderful people that they're just so gifted and so skilled at what they do.
Yeah.
And so it's just wonderful to be able to do that. So, we help people with resources. We help them provide their own, or help them develop their own individual safety plans. We explore support systems for them and things like that. And then we follow up. If they want us to follow up with them, then we'll give them a follow-up call. And they can designate the time that would be best for us to do that, and we'll be happy to do that. Because we're concerned about them, and we want to make sure that they stay safe. So they can call us whenever they like, but we can also give them a call back as well.
What kind of training do your call responders have?
40 hours.
40 hours?
Worth of training.
So a week, basically.
It's 40 hours before they can actually get on the phone. There's an interview process, and then just to make sure that they're an individual that we feel would not be triggered by something when they go through the training, and make sure that, it's something that they really want to do. So it's an extensive interview process. And then we go through 16 hours of very extensive suicide prevention and intervention training. Then we do what we call an internal training that, talks about suicidology, and we talk about, mandated reporting, the legalities that are involved. We talk about drug and alcohol and how that impacts individuals. So we have 16 hours of that internal type training, and then we have an additional 8+ hours of role playing and being inside the call center and learning about our software system and that type of thing. So. Yeah.
Even with that 40 hours of training, that first call that they take must be, wow.
It is always
punch in the gut. Yeah.
Wow. It is always wow. The first call that I took was a very wow call. So it is. The important thing is that you know that you've really helped someone. And I think that that's what keeps our call responders and our volunteers, because it's not just paid staff. We have a lot of people who volunteer to help people on these lines. They are so dedicated. And they come in and they talk to people and they really, really help them. And the feelings of being able to give back and to truly help people, helping people that really need it. It's the impact that you have on an individual directly that makes such an amazing difference.
Yeah. God, I'm not even sure how to ask this question, but what happens when you lose someone, that you're not able to pull them back?
We haven't, to our knowledge, that's not happened yet.
Really?
In a year and a half, that has not happened yet. We've been able to access people, get them to emergency services if they needed it, but to our knowledge, that has not happened. So
well, let's hope that stays that way.
We're praying that stays that way.
All right. So over 1,000 calls last month, which was, you said, a record for you?
It wasn't a record, but
it was up there.
It's right. We're averaging well over 1,000 calls, every month. It seems to be escalating. So there's just such a need in the Valley. We just want people to know that we're available to them.
Okay. So how do folks reach you?
Hopefully the hotline number is on the screen, and then thank you. And then we also, so that's if you're in crisis, if you'd like to, or feeling suicidal, if you'd also like to volunteer, that phone number is 559-256-7678. So please feel free to call, and we'll be sure and go through the process with you and see if it's something you'd like to do. But we love to have those dedicated volunteers that come and help us.
You couldn't do it without them, right?
We couldn't do it without them.
Barbara Breen, Suicide Prevention Hotline here in the Central Valley. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with more on Central Valley Talk.